It might not, it's not that bad of an idea, honestly,
Yeah,
but
because
I
then you
think the
set
hero
up for
powers I think the hero power is worth a little bit more because he can just cast it for 0 next turn.
sure. I know it's just
So he
funny.
loses 2 points of damage, but it wouldn't be like the worst play in the world.
It's just funny that that's how it kind of pans out.
Oh my gosh. Look at how much damage
Well, now
this
Unleashed
is.
is going to be super good because
He
that Lotheb draw
right.
was able to disrupt the turn
This
so
is the
well.
situation where he's trying to like seal the deal now. Where if he draws the second Hunter's Mark, it's going to be a lot of trouble for Tides. He's got 4 draws to do it, and potentially even 5 with his web spinner.
Uh-oh. Well, he's got a Stone Tusk board to keep it going as well.
A deadly shot.
Ah, Deadly Shot in the Hunter deck. Very much the stylistic choice for removal.
Yep. I actually kind of like how this is going to pan out. I don't think he even needs to find a second Hunter's Mark. Which is, if he finds it, it's just kind of like icing on the cake. He gets to clear his opponent down. He's dropping to 6 when he does this, but now look at how big his hand is, and he can pretty much kill anything his opponent's going to do in the next couple turns.
Also, Tides is at 14 health as well. It's not exactly a very comfortable
wow.
life range.
Oh, wow!
Second Hunter's Mark. One draw a little bit late.
Alright, I see. It looks like to me like this is a Kodo turn.
Do you Kodo and then something like Freezing Trap?
I think you Kodo. See what you draw. Kodo's going to take out the 1/3. And then you have Hunter's Mark and Web Spinner to take out the Lotheb. And then you have Scavenging... I'm sorry, you have the Starving Buzzard to take out the Shattered Sun Cleric. And then you have a Kodo on the board, and you can develop Freezing Trap to protect yourself from Doomguard. So you're not even losing to the last out in his deck.
Huh. Interesting. Alchemist is really flirting with a lot of plays and lines.
Yep. This is a weird... Why wouldn't you just play Houndmaster?
He wants to draw a card off Web Spinner.
He wants to use Deadly Shot, is what he's... Silverback Patriarch.
That's awesome.
That's actually not a bad draw right now.
It stops the damage of aggro, right?
You can protect him, from future stuff
And
happening.
it draws a card. Not bad. I mean, you play it. You play it, you draw a card. I mean, in essence, Silverback Patriarch's really nice. Imagine if it drew a card every time.
I think this is sort of a this is a really weird way to do it, but I mean, I guess it works out. He's got so many cards that it's going to be hard for his opponent to take advantage.
He also
of
wins because he has double kill command. By the way, like double kill command is 10, and plus the hero power is 12.
But the
he has
Lotheb
command. Oh, but the Lotheb, of course. My apologies.
So again, he's just got all the ways in the world to deal with it, though. It's like which one? Like pick your poison.
Let's see.
Looks like this looks like it's just going to be a double Houndmaster turn. It doesn't matter really how he ends up panning out this game. It's just like he's got so many cards and he's got such a heavy position that it's. I mean, there's so many different routes to victory. Again, just choose which one you want. He's going for that.
Yeah, actually, with double Houndmaster now he can't really lose to even the Soulfire Doomguard top decks.
Yep.
And that 3/6 Silverback Patriarch getting revenge.
If he juggles 5 times to the face.
Juggles 5 times to the face. That's a dream that won't ever come to reality, at least with 3 cards in hand.
Not today, anyway.
Alright, so Zoo has been stricken down by Alchemist, and that Buzzard Unleash, well, it was necessary considering how Zoo was able to take back the board forcefully. And Tides will have to go to something else. Ooh, Alchemist taking his time. I like it.
No BM. Interesting. After all that time taking. Sorry, bro. I couldn't do it.
No worries. All right, well, Tides, he loses game number 3, but he got a great lead with Zoo, starting off 2-1. Against Hunter, he's got a lot of options, I think, at his disposal. He can play his Miracle Rogue. He's shown that he's comfortable playing even the Mirror as well. I think the game number 4 is already prepared. These guys are queued up and ready to go very quickly. So let's jump into the game and see what Tides has prepared for us next.
Yep, he likes this Hunter matchup, and honestly I can't blame him. I think with 2 flares and the knowledge that your opponent's playing Freezing Trap, that I think Tides is actually developing an edge in this matchup. because of the knowledge edge he has. He's able to abuse those facts and really turn these big turns against your opponent. It's like if he plays a trap, you know it's freezing trap or explosive trap, so you can just hang on to flare until that's happening. And then even in the right spots, because you know your opponent's playing trap, Stone Tusk board goes up in value because you can check traps with it. It makes a lot of sense that he's built a Hunter deck that's going to be trying to beat the matchups he still wants to be beating, stuff like Druid. And then it's also tuned for the mirror, so he's anticipated other people making the same decision that he's making, playing Hunter. But they're tuning it for something else, and he's tuning it for the mirror.
A flare card, very important in the mirror, but Web Spinner is to entertain the fans. The hard choice is made, and Tide says, I'm going to have to go for the win here. He says, no more Silverback Patriarchs, please.
Look at that. He draws an explosive trap right away.
Nice.
He's already got a buzzer.
Kill command.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
he opts for the kill.
Powerful.
Interesting.
I think it's just a little bit too powerful.
Yeah.
A lot of times this matchup comes down to just the damage race. And so the extra 5 damage can help swing it in your favor.
Okay, Alchemist. See, he picks up Houndmaster. He doesn't really have anything else to pair it with other than Stone Tusk Boar. And that's on turn 5, so he's still got a while. Kind of just dead draws for the early game here for Alchemist, but he can kind of ramp up mid-game with some of his options.
Yeah, it's looking like a hero power turn.
Alternatively, you know, you'd never want to let your opponent build the board in this mirror too much. Sure, you can try to hope that you draw Unleash the Hounds and be able to draw a lot of cards and respond to it. But at a certain point, it's kind of like the Miracle Mirror, where if you have a bunch of cards, sometimes that's meaningless in the face of damage, like you kind of said, where it turns into a race. And playing a little bit too much into that is kind of a weakness. Sometimes you just need to Unleash the Hounds with what you have. No buzzer necessary, because you don't have the mana to squeeze everything in.
Right. That's definitely going to come up from time to time. And it's sort of... This matchup is really coming down to who is able to keep development on the board. So it doesn't seem like much, but this Haunted Creeper is going to end up adding to a lot of damage over the course of the game. And Alchemist does not have a single minion that can stick on the board. Honestly, I don't even think that Houndmaster by itself is unreasonable. The thing about it is he's got to think about how he gets value from the Houndmaster other than that. And he wants to get value from the Starving Buzzard also, but his hand is just so weak. Again, it's hard for him to stick something on the board. So, to me, this looks like another hero power turn, and then on the next turn you want to play Stone Tusk Boar with the Houndmaster. So you get 7 points of power on the board, you'll have a taunt minion, and you'll be a little bit resilient to some of the answers your opponent could potentially have, things like Explosive Trap. So it's tough to just hero power a couple turns in a row with a deck that wants to be developing on turns 2 and 3, but he doesn't have the liberty of being able to make those choices right now. And so Tides is he's more than content to sit here and race. He's got a Loatheb in his hand also, Savannah Highmane, and a Hunter's Mark. He's got answers to pretty much anything his opponent can do. It's just a matter of what his opponent does. And now Alchemist, he picks up a Web Spinner, so he gets a second decision. Does he want to go for more value, or does he want to start getting in damage? And I think that starting to race back is really important here. I don't know if this extra beast is going to start mattering, because when you start scaling into these later turns, you're going to have to expend a lot of your mana just simply answering your opponent's board back. So things like Kill Command on their big minions. There's nothing wrong with the extra minion here, but this can sometimes hurt. Like if this ends up being a non-relevant draw here.
It does give him something potentially to draw, or to play rather, and it is a Kodo, so that does get some value back immediately.
Yep, I think it's a big sigh of relief for Alchemist that he picks up something so strong.
Not bad.
He's actually in a pretty solid position now.
And, you know, again, he has that Stone Tusk Boar as another option to keep the draws with his Buzzard, too. Not to mention its versatility of being able to trigger traps. But, important thing to note, Tides has the Highmane first.
Second Unleash the Hounds. Oh, gosh. This is another tough turn.
Do you need more cards, though?
I don't think you do, but it's hard to fight for board position right now. I'm trying to spot the line of play that's going to lead to victory. Because you're facing down 11 points of damage, and you're behind in the damage race.
If you had Timberwolf, I think things line up a lot cleaner. Because then, and maybe that's what you can hope to draw with Buzzard Unleash. If you can get something, because you do have the Hunter's Mark. You can also just push for here and try to go for the clear, get third card.
Oh, he is going to go for Timberwolf. Look at this.
Okay. Second Hunter's Mark.
Savannah Hyman.
Savannah Hyman. Well, at least now this way he can clear 2 of the minions. And again, that's the benefit of keeping that boar. And he still got the Kodo at least from the web spitter. So everything worked out pretty nice. Alchemix still isn't taking a huge amount of damage just yet, and he does have a way to answer this hyena.
It's a really strong board clear.
Wow, but look at this second Hyman.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's a big draw. And now Alchemix, he's still got tools though. So there's a good chance he's going to be taking some damage this turn. But it's not 100%. He's going to be relying on this, I think, on this explosive trap partially to answer these 2/2 tokens. And that's what Tides is hoping that he's going to be relying on as well. I think there's a lot of merit to kill commanding this right away. You have to start stemming this damage, and you have to develop your board, and Oasis Snapjaw is like the perfect card to do it. See, oh my gosh, Ironbeak Owl!
Oh, wow, kill command does end up eliminating it complete from the board.
Oh my gosh! That is a massive Ironbeak Owl right now. That is pulling so much weight.
It did 4 damage spread out across 2 minions. Pretty nasty. It's like a cleave. With the effect of with a 2/1 body. Well, Tides picks up kill command for his own so he can answer the high main in future turns. How much are you going to try to dig for something like the Stone Tusk Boar yourself?
Gosh, I don't know. I think you have to dig here though. Like if you use your buzzer now, you can't afford to just draw like 1 card off of it. You have to draw more than that. Unleash would be really weird here. Like, don't you just Animal Companion? Like, what are you hoping for when you unleash? Because now
when you Animal Companion, you are so sad when you get a Huffer, though. I don't know if you want to leave yourself up to that kind of RNG.
I don't even know if you're that sad because you protected your buzzer at that point.
But it's the same mana cost either way, and Animal Companion could be more flexible. You're losing the buzzard, so Unleash also drops in value. You kind of assume that your buzzard is just dead here.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I understand completely what you're saying, though.
Yeah, if you assume the buzzard's going to die, Unleash, I think, has more merit. But then that way you do force your opponent to have a way to actually kill your buzzard, though. Like, do they want to kill command your buzzard?
Well, the likelihood of picking up something like Eagle Horn Bow, another 1 charger like Stone Tusk Boar, Unleash the Hounds. Yeah, I think there is a lot of possibilities. There's just too many possibilities. I mean, the buzzard always has the highest target and priority, killing it, so.
This is actually kind of tough.
He gets the Huffer. I think he was honestly fine with Liak as well, because an Unleash gets for a full board clear, too.
Yep.
That didn't quite
uh-oh. Time to time, stating the obvious.
Is this really not an Unleash turn?
I still think you can Unleash. You can just remove the Direwolf Alpha.
That's a good one to make.
Okay.
You gotta attack this. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
What on earth?
Okay.
That is really weird. That is gonna potentially lead to some really bad things happening.
Yeah. Oh, Stone Tusk Boar. That's one of them. You can trade very effectively with the Direwolf Alpha.
Yeah, this could be bad news.
But before Tides does anything, he absolutely should draw a Web Spinner.
That dude.
Just for me.
Fuck.
He's counting, huh?
That cannot be right.
Wow, Tides is actually really thinking something over real quick and counting on his hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Got Silver Patriarch twice. The chances of getting it 3 times. 3% times 3 to the exponent.
He rolls. I think he wanted to roll Huffer there. I think he's counting some way that Huffer is lethal, maybe?
Really? That would have been
9,
crazy.
15, 16, 17. Or maybe he can just make such a strong push that it's essentially lethal. Wow.
Yeah, with the kill command to potentially finish.
Yep.
Web spinner.
Oh my gosh.
Give me the Captain's Parrot.
Captain's Parrot. He doesn't have
Pulling
any
out.
pirates in that deck.
Here we go.
If he places Captain's Parrot,
South Sea deck in coming up right here.
If
Watch.
he gets a Bloodsail Raider, this is ridiculous. There's no pirates in that deck. Come on, game.
All right, so we found a card strictly worse for Hunter than Angry Chicken. We did it, Twitch Jet.
Web Spinner's drunk.
Go home, Web Spinner. Or go to the graveyard, either way. 6-4 Scavenging Hyena. Tides of Time has a Captain's Parrot. At this point, it's just a mascot.
This is why you don't let Buzzard live, by the way. It's like he just killed your entire board and replaced his entire hand. There's no way that letting Buzzard live can be right.
Unless he wanted him to fill the board once more for Unleash value, and that's sort of like a meta play, but I don't think that's actually the case. Alchemist is in a tough spot where he might just die. And he might die to a person who drew Captain's Parrot off a web spinner. Oh my goodness.
He might be the first person to ever lose to a Captain's Parrot play.
Oh man. Alchemist doesn't really have a good option to follow this up with either. He's going to be taking pretty hefty damage regardless of what happens.
Yep. Gosh, and he's finally had to rely on the explosive trap, and Tides has just been holding Flare the entire game.
So there's 10 damage immediately, just with hero power alone. 5 with the kill command, 3 with the bow, and maybe 2 with the hero power? Oh, okay, Tides. He's sending in...
Oh,
he's sending the victory cigar. Please, Captain's Parrot is the victory cigar in Hearthstone. You have to do it. You know you've won, Tides. He's ready to use both Unleashes, too. There's nothing you're afraid of.
Oh, he can't. He doesn't have the mana to play it and kill him. Oh, you just gotta wait a turn, right? You just let him live for a turn so you can...
Captain's Parrot.
Really?
Aw, come on.
Well, he wants to play the Captain's Parrot the turn he's gonna win. So it's like, let his opponent live for basically another turn.
You let your beast die and then pretend it's like, oops, because you didn't have the beast
this
to
is
kill
great.
command and you parrots. No! How dare you? Denies the Captain's Parrot. Oh, Ty says, I'm sorry, bro, next time.
Wow. I've never been so upset at the conclusion of a game. It's never happened to me before, ever. I wanted to see Parrot so bad. But this game. Something we did see, though, is an example of why Starving Buzzard has to be killed. And Tides was able to completely demolish his opponent's board and refill his own hand and use the Buzzard to kill something. And that's a card that takes too much priority. It's like the auctioneer for hunters is basically what it is, except instead of playing powerful spells that kill all your opponent's board, you have to play really bad beasts and hope that you get the right combinations of spells to kill your opponent's board.
I'm still kind of laughing at what we just watched. Web Spinner is an awesome, awesome card. We're going to take a quick break and continue the series right after this commercial, so don't go anywhere. More action for the grand finals of the WEC North American Qualifiers continues right after this.
Caw-caw!
Welcome back, everybody, to the World Esports Championship Hearthstone North American Qualifiers. Game number 5 coming up. Tides versus Alchemist. Alchemist seems to be having a fun time, sipping on a couple of juices and relaxing. Tides, in the meantime, is primed to take this tournament 4-1 in the grand finals very convincingly off of some very interesting Hunter games and cards. You know, he didn't really have to utilize his things like Captain Spirit, but overall, Tides has been playing pretty strong and solid. You know, he's kind of end this series quickly so that he can kind of move on. I think Tides wants to even stream today. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah,
regardless, I think he should be very proud of his performance. And overall, I think he's kind of just, at this point, in a position to just can't lose. He has Miracle Rogue. He has Hunter, which still can perform very well against Shaman. I can't really imagine him dropping the series from this point on with a 3-1 lead.
It's going to be very difficult, especially when he's got the Captain Spirit ace up the sleeve. And
That's right. He was holding information because he doesn't want Alchemix to know.
Right. He doesn't want to know the
playing
power
the long con.
Look, once he plays it, he fetches up Captain Greenskin. The jig is up, and it's not a position. It's not a position that he can allow his opponent to be in. Again, we talk how important the information battle is. Well, that's the most prime information you can possibly get in terms of your Alchemix. Like if that's the kind of information he has, you see this series completely turn around. And so this web spinner, he's hoping this gets another Captain Spirit again, because this is the final game where he really wants to utilize those pirates that he can draw. So everything really adding up here. Hopefully he can pull it out.
I'm just highly amused. Web spinner once again delivering. You know, Tides does have double Houndmaster, which can be pretty good to gain value immediately and draw hexes where Shamans really don't want to be using hexes immediately. And he does have the Buzzard Unleash combo, which is very powerful and potent, because Shaman does have that hero power that inevitably builds up the board.
Urshok's a pretty interesting choice here, too.
No, don't do it. No.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, jeez. And I actually think playing Blood Mage here is better than making a totem. I think you just want to continue to dig into your deck and find the right answers.
Yeah. Yeah. Spell power is usually only consequential if you have something like Lightning Bolt to take out, I don't know, an animal companion of some sort.
Yep.
Something like Amisha or Leok. And in this case, drawing through your deck, like you said, is much more important.
Ooh, this is going to be a really rough couple of turns for Alchemix. He's feeling like he's in a really good shape, but this Buzzard Unleash is very tricky with turning around boards where you get too many minions out. So he needs to be really careful that he doesn't actually make too many minions here. Like I don't think he actually even wants the totem here. I think he should just play the Unbound and pass. Maybe the other Defender of Argus, though.
Wow, Tides wants to bait his opponent into trading.
This is so tough now. He's got 3 different very good options at this point. And I don't know which one he should be taking. This seems like... It's just like... The Azure Drake's the obvious one. But this is one of those turns where it's so important to think through what's happening and making sure that you're not missing any opportunities to really pick up a strong play.
Yeah, why is he playing Houndmaster immediately here? Is he trying to evoke a kind of reaction? How am I supposed to react? I don't know if the Alchemist is considering all these things, because he feels like he's been playing a little bit on the looser side, having more fun. You know, even toasting to the chat and stream.
Well,
but at the same time, it's important to kind of keep these things in mind as a viewer of how you kind of approach these plays.
Yeah, I think in this spot, it's like he's very much considered the Houndmaster, and this is a sort of a rare example of someone who may have over-considered Houndmaster. I'm not sure he needed to Rockbiter it, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense. Like, if your opponent's just going to play that, you want to have this Nerubian Egg here to not only help counter against Explosive Trap, but you want to make it harder for something like Unleash the Hounds to push through. So now he's got to deal with this 4/4. So this protects his Unbound Elemental. It keeps his Defender of Argus alive. So now he has threats on the board that he can use immediately to counter a board position if something like this happens. So all of these things are really coming into effect here. And now Fire Elemental going to put a big hurt on Tides of Time. But he's got a second Buzzard Unleash combo. So as much as it hurts to lose your board position over and over again, it feels great to fill up your hand and kill your opponent's board.
Yeah, and you know, the Shaman needs to continue to have good card draw and to keep at least even to match his opponent. You know, Shaman doesn't have that many draw mechanics other than Mana Tide Totem and a couple of things that cycle like Azure Drake. So Alchemix is already spending a lot of his resources. So if this board gets wiped, he's pretty much, other than his Azure Drake, relegated to top decking an answer to what his opponent can drop, while Tides will be able to continue to refill.
I think Tides' draw is just too strong for this one to pull out of. It's like now he's drawn 3 more cards, 9 cards in his hand. Fire Elemental's going to fall. He's got strong follow-ups at pretty much every step of the way. If there's one way that he may have actually not secured this win, though, it's probably by drawing 2 trackings right off the bat. So it's like he doesn't need to filter for very much. His hand's already strong, but the fact that he's got to expend some of this mana into now finding the right drops, that could be a difference in this game. Hex is really strong here. And again, it's like, say these trackings are just, either they find too many strong cards in each tracking, or they don't find anything. That could potentially be a difference maker. But I don't know if it's going to end up mattering, though, because can he actually just grind him out of this game? He's just got less cards than his opponent.
All right, well, he's about to top deck an Earthshock. That can allow him to clear the board.
That's really important to save right now.
Yeah.
Your opponent's drawn so many cards that you are fearing the potential of 2 Savannah Highmanes at this point.
And there's a strong likelihood. By the way, to kind of answer your question previously, it seems that we can kind of assume Tides would run weapons in this deck. And that seems that's where the Hyena was able to kind of flex in.
Yep.
All right, Tides looking over the Houndmaster. Again, you want to kind of take the board away from the Shaman. Savannah Highmane into a Hex is exactly one way for them to climb back.
Yep. I think he wants his opponent to have to use all that stuff, I think, before he plays Savannah Highmane. I think he wants to follow. Oh my gosh, that's a good one.
The Huffer roll is very big.
Yep. That makes a very large difference. He's actually able to clear this entire board and make a big Hyena. But this is one of the reasons why Earthshock's so important. But this isn't something that Tides is like upset with, though. It's like he wants these Earthshocks to be used so he can get through Savannah Highmane. So 2 things are happening. He's able to overcommit into it because if his opponent doesn't have an answer, it's just too big of a threat for him to deal with. And then the second one is, if his opponent does have an answer to deal with this, now he's much more at ease playing something like Savannah Highmane. It's going to get through a lot more often in that scenario. Lightning Bolt, though. He actually may not even have to use Earthshock here. Misses the totem, though. That was kind of an important totem.
That is tough. Because if you could use Lightning Bolt, you save Hex for things like the inevitable Highmane.
Right. I think he's going to have to Earthshock here. That's just, you can't just be taking 7 damage.
I mean, you're taking 3 damage. And you kind of reduce it by 4. You're still taking lots more on the swing back because at 6 aimed right back at you, you'll be at 16. I don't know how good I feel about that situation either.
I don't think hexing's unreasonable. Just you have to do something to take care of it.
The frog still has 1 attack then.
You have to do something to take care of it, is really what it boils down to. I would really like to see him, if he's going to use this, he needs a Lightning Bolt instead of using that Earthshock, because now he doesn't have a Hex anymore. And I know it seems like it's bad to overkill it. Oh my gosh. That's not good news. I think he should have Lightning Bolted there. It's like your opponent's drawn 7, 8 extra cards this game, and they've used it. It's like, and there's possibility of them tracking. Like, they're going to find Savannah Highmane.
Yeah,
now you have actually no answer to it now. He probably just shouldn't have even used the Lightning Bolt to begin with. He should just be saving it. I think it's probably going to do it. Actually, if he had Earthshock, though.
Yeah, Earthshock Lightning Storm would have been pretty great.
So, Tides isn't in the clear yet. There's still a couple more things that Alchemix can do. But again, Tides is very deep into his deck. Has a lot of strong answers already.
I think so. Tides has used his Buzzer Unleash combo twice over, so Alchemix feels a little bit better about building the board.
Yep.
But, still Tides has lots of options at his disposal with double trackings. He can kind of pick what he needs. Kill Command is also nice, so he can get some damage.
He's got a Houndmaster, too. He needs these trackings to be...
wait, he does play
he does have a bow.
Okay.
It's the first time I think it's the first time we've actually seen bow from this tournament. No, he played it last game, didn't he? He actually played it last game.
There's been 16 best of 5s throughout this entire tournament, or something around that number, and a lot of people have played Hunter, so I don't have the exact best memory at the moment. Kind of brain fart, not bad.
It happens.
I think pushing for damage here is pretty reasonable. He's shown that he hasn't been able to deal with the Hindmane. You put yourself within a lethal range too.
Yep. I like how he's holding the trackings too. There's not really a big reason to use them because he wants to use them as the final answer. And this is sort of one of the powers of this card. Is when you're already winning, you can just hold on to it. And so when you've held on to it for so long, it's like now he can just dig for the second kill command, and he has 7 cards next turn to find another kill command.
Oh man, Alchemix draws Doomhammer, but he's just gonna be lowering himself closer and closer to the lethal range. And let's see, even if he uses Lightning Storm and Doomhammer to clean everything up with Lightning Bolt, he's still going to be taking a little bit of damage and put him at 11 live. With Kill Command and Eaglehorn Bow and weapon and the Hero Power, that's going to put him at like just to draw 1 or 2 more damage, and that's the game.
Well, good luck to Alchemix, but I don't think he's getting out of this, almost regardless of how he rolls. So it's a very favorable roll, but now like Tide's got to put together a beast and a kill command. Yeah, he just needs a few more points of damage. There's a second kill command. That's actually just lethal.
We have our champion.
Yep.
Wait, okay, come on. Tracking first. There we go. So Tide's going to show what he's got. Web spinner. Cool, let's take it. Tracking twice.
Yep, going for full BM here.
The flare, I guess. See what your last card is. Oh, don't hide main. No point. Yeah, I like it. If there's one thing I know, is about how to be a complete dick to my opponent.
Completely out of cards.
All right, Tides is going to win the series 4-1. I think that was my most accurate prediction line in a row.
Yep, very well played by Tides. Your WEC NA Qualifier champion, taking down a best-of-7, 4-1 over Alchemix. You can't take anything away from Alchemix, though. He played a wonderful, fantastic tournament. And again, coming into this final match, he took it a little bit easier, I think, than he normally would. I think he's just very happy to qualify, get his spot for the $62,000 tournament, where he's going to be helping battle for his share of the money. And now it's just time to relax and celebrate your victory for the weekend.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Tides of Time. He is the champion of another online tournament, and being able to come back once more just as strong and prove that he is one of the best control players in the world. Tempest Storm's very well, as I see the chat congratulating him already. At the same time, once again, a good big congratulations to Alchemix too for being able to prove that he is a great player from North America, that the big acquisition of DK, he used to be DK Mart's ace player, and Curse picked him up, and people were kind of confused. Is this guy really for real, or is it a fluke? Absolutely not. This guy is great. The finals probably wasn't exactly the best indicative of how he's able to play this tournament masterfully, despite him not dropping a single series leading up to it. It was 9-1 up until that point. Thank you so much for watching. Admirable, do you have any final comments before we send off the stream?
Just a big thanks to all of the viewers for coming out and watching this awesome tournament. A big thanks to Milkcast for Cindy for doing a lot of production work behind the scenes and making sure this tournament runs as smoothly as possible. We're on a 10-minute delay, so it's basically live, or as live as you can get, to also help prevent any sort of shenanigans from going on. And then, of course, big thanks to all my haters. The more you guys hate, the more famous you make me. So thanks a bunch, you guys.
All right, well, that's a great way to sign off. We do want to remind you that the Prismata Cup is coming up later today. Make sure you tune in for more Hearthstone action if you're not satisfied with what you watch. Meanwhile, let us know what you guys think on Twitter and give us your opinions on how the tournament went. Thank you so much again to all the production. Like you said, 2P.com, to Cindy, to Milkcast, and everyone else in production. This has been a 2P.com production with WC North American Qualifiers. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.